Think about your own household budget. You're supposed to have one. Well, unfortunately, the federal government, which is our government, us as taxpayers, pay and we contribute to the system, and they're supposed to have a balanced budget. Unfortunately, we haven't had one in years. I mean, people have talked about it, this and that, but no legislation has ever happened. So what's happened is every so often, it comes up where we're fixing to hit the last time they extended it, the spending. So when you think about your own household, if you simply, husband and wife have an agreement that here's what we're gonna do, but at the end of the month, money ran out, but there's still days left in the month or in the year. Well, we've agreed we're not gonna touch our savings account, let's say. So we're gonna have to sit down and have some kind of a meeting about either raising our spending limits. Hey, this isn't enough. We got to have food. We have to raise and spend more money, or we're going to have to cut spending. Or if we're going to go into our savings, we have to agree to do that. Well, unfortunately, in the United States government, it doesn't work quite like it would in our normal household, but we should have a spending limit. So right now, what's happened is the debt ceiling, we have reached it, or we're rapidly reaching it in the next few days. Well, here's what happens. If we don't extend it and give ourselves increased spending, if Congress doesn't do that, then what happens? Well, we start to default on our bonds. The United States credit has a credit rating, and that will fall in the eyes of anyone wanting to lend money to the United States. It would simply go down. And the reason it would go down is because we'd be defaulting. And you say, well, we're not going to do that. Well, actually, we did get lowered at one time in the past. I don't remember if it was Moody's or Standard & Poor's, but one of them lowered the United States credit rating because we didn't have this, quote, balanced budget. And so again, it has great impact around the country. Now, here's where it doesn't. The news and stuff will try to say things like, well, people won't get paid, so government workers aren't going to get their money and things like that. That's not what's happening. It has to do with the government's credit rating, and it'd be no different than in your own household. If you didn't pay your bills on time, what would happen to your credit rating? Well, it would certainly go down. And that's exactly what's going to happen to the United States if we can't agree on some form of an extension. But really what needs to happen is we need to go back to when we had an actual balanced budget. And this means people on the left side of the aisle and people on the right-hand side of the aisle and people down the center of the aisle are all going to have to join forces and figure out a way to actually do what they were hired to do, which is work together and build a balanced budget for the United States of America that we can follow, and that needs to happen.